Greetings, family, and welcome to another session of Conversations. You know what we do. We're here to educate, emancipate, and empower so that you can live the life you were born to live. What kind of life is that? It's the kingdom life. And today we're having a conversation with Commissioner Jordan Johnson, Commissioner of District 1. Commissioner Johnson, good to have you with us, man.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you,
Hey,
Bishop.
man, it has been exactly a year since you were with us. And so we're honored to have you, man. And let me have you say a little bit about yourself. You're Commissioner of District 1. What else are you doing?
So, I've been commissioner for District 1 for the last 3.5 years now.
Right.
Going into my 4th year in January.
Just recently reelected?
Reelected.
Amen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm the chairman of our finance committee for the Augusta Commission. I'm a member of our administrative services committee. And I was just recently appointed to the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Board for Georgia Municipal Association.
Oh, wonderful.
So there's a lot of good things going on.
Yeah, and you're doing this busy man. Listen, and you just came back from Washington, D.C., man. I saw on Facebook you got some pictures, you in the white and everything. What was going on in Washington, D.C.?
So I was cleaning my email out and I saw an invitation to the White House. And I thought it was a joke.
Wow.
So I called the number on the RSVP and the White House picked up.
I need to check my spam folder, man. Maybe I had one too.
So, the president was holding a brunch to celebrate Black excellence. And so you have Black CEOs and Black elected officials, Black celebrities, all on the South Lawn of the White House, just supporting, celebrating the accomplishments that the Black community has made.
Man, and I know my spam folder. I missed it. So congratulations on being invited there. But you are also the chairman of the Democratic Party of Augusta.
Yes,
Talk to us about that. Bro.
So I've been chairman of the Richmond County Democratic Party for about 6 years now. Mm-hmm. And my responsibility there is to recruit candidates to run for office, is to make sure that our Democratic elected officials are supported. Right. And, if there's any kind of issues going on that we need to be paying attention to that aligns with the Democratic platform, it's our job to mobilize and to energize our base during elections.
Hey, man, that's great. Well, you just said it, man. Issues that affect us and issues that are important to us. There's the most important one coming up in November the 5th. Yeah. That's the election. Talk to us about what you're doing with that.
So this is the most important election that we're going to face.
Yes.
I clearly believe that.
Yeah.
There's so much at stake. The decision could not be any more clear.
Right.
I can't tell you who to vote for, but
I can.
You can? Well, I can too then. I'm voting for Kamala Harris.
Exactly.
So
is there anybody else? Absolutely.
The choice couldn't be any more clear. You have Donald Trump on one end who's only concerned about himself.
Convicted felon,
only concerned about himself and those around him.
Right.
And Kamala Harris has a platform that supports us, that supports the everyday person.
Absolutely.
And that's what I want in the president.
And it's not about black and white. It's about the issues.
Right.
It's about the issues.
It's about you having the opportunity to make decisions about your future versus someone in D.C. who doesn't know you, who doesn't have your values. It's about you being able to go to college without graduating with a mountain of debt.
Right.
It's about you having the ability to just rent a home without having to spend your life savings to do so.
Right.
That's what November is about. Nothing more and nothing less.
Yeah.
And we can't make the mistake in sitting home and just thinking that things are going to happen.
That's it. I think you need to say that again.
Yeah, we can't sit home. Absolutely. I think ever so often we think that this thing is rigged or that it's already decided and it's not.
Yeah.
We have to go out and actually be the change to make sure that whatever values we align with are reflected in the White House.
Absolutely. I had a conversation with somebody recently who was saying that he was talking with someone who said, well, what benefit would it be for us to vote one and then for us to vote for Kamala Harris? And I said to that person, it's not about what we can get. It's about what we can lose.
Right. And what you're seeing is we're losing everything.
We're losing. Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Right. We're going back in time if we don't put Kamala Harris in office. And
that's right.
This is not a conversation about, Kamala Harris. It's a conversation about the needs of the people, not just black people, but the middle class and lower class people.
Right.
And I've said, and let me just throw mine out there. I refuse to vote for somebody who is a convicted sex offender.
Right.
That's an insult to our women. It's an insult to our daughters, to our wives, to our sisters, to our mothers. Right. A convicted sex offender.
Right.
And I'm not even sure if he has the right to vote.
Well, and that speaks to a much greater situation as well, because there's so many young folks out here who made decisions when they were teenagers or young adults.
Absolutely.
And those decisions are following them throughout their lives.
Right.
They don't have access to housing. They don't have access to voting. They can't even get student loans so they can get access to an education. But someone who has all of these counts under his belt can now run for president of the United States.
There you go.
And what I'm telling folks is that this election is about the future. Right. What type of future do we want to leave for our kids and our grandkids?
Absolutely.
We know what yesterday looked like.
Right.
We don't want to go back.
We don't want to go back there.
We're going to move forward.
Absolutely.
We're going to move forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I want you to talk a little bit more because this is such a critical election. I mean, and this whole thing of Project 25, and Donald Trump is trying to distance himself from it verbally, but he is the initiator of it.
Right.
You know, and everybody who supports him supports that. And that takes away voting rights. It takes away, rights of women. I mean, who would think that anyone would have the audacity to try to to put on paper that they want to monitor women's pregnancies?
Right. It is a manifesto for taking us backwards.
Absolutely. Folks
say it's going to take us back 50 years. No, let's go back 100 years.
Exactly.
This document is really a manifesto for everything that we stand against.
Absolutely.
For every value that our parent taught us not to believe.
Absolutely.
You know, the fact of the matter is a doctor and a woman should be the only two people making decisions about her health.
About her.
Not the government.
That's it.
Where education is concerned. Disbanding the Department of Education.
That makes no sense.
And what you're seeing now is even on the state level, with the legislature passing bills to fund private schools. And, you know,
public money going for private schools. Yeah.
All of this stuff is sanctioned by Trump and his team. And he says he knows nothing about it, but he's blessed it.
Absolutely.
And not only has he blessed this and he knows the team, everything that this foundation has asked him to do when he was in office, he did it.
He did it. Absolutely.
So what did the great Maya Angelou say?
Yeah.
If someone tell you who they are the first time,
believe them. And he's traveling with a woman who is a racist.
Yes.
Who is, you know, I mean, it's just, and he's defending her.
Yeah.
And so my thing is, you know, now I've said before, every Trump supporter is not a racist, but it's amazing that every racist is a Trump supporter.
Right. Right. Birds of a feather flock together.
There you go.
And here's my problem with that as well. If I'm not aligned with what you're preaching or with what you're thinking or anything that you put out, I'm not going to support you.
Right.
It's just that simple.
It's just that simple.
I don't care how much of a good
we
person
could be friends, but if I'm not aligned with it, I'm not walking with you in that.
So we have a moral responsibility.
Right.
We have a moral responsibility to stand up for what's right, even when it's unpopular.
Right.
And we have a moral responsibility to understand that we're not just doing this for ourselves. There's a whole generation coming behind us.
That's it.
And if we fail that generation, what does that say about us?
Exactly.
And not only us, but those who came before us.
Absolutely.
I refuse.
Absolutely.
I refuse.
And then let's throw some Bible in here because the scripture says, how can two walk together unless they agree?
That's right.
So if he's walking with her, she's walking with him.
That's right.
There you go.
That's all we need to know.
That's all we need to know. That's all we need to know. So let's talk about why it is important for our people to register and vote, because registering is just the first stage. There's we had Judge Lyons here with us. We had a men's conference here some weeks ago, and he talked about the amount of people who are registered to vote in Richmond County. 128,000 people who are registered, but only 24,000 showed up to vote in the last election. I think he said 24,000, if I'm not mistaken. Let's talk about why it's important to register to vote, and then why it's important to not just register, but to get out and vote.
Well, registering to vote is your seat at the table.
Right.
If you don't have if you're not registered to vote.
Say that again. Say it louder.
Registering to vote is your seat at the table. We were talking before this broadcast, before we came and sat down, about how I want to go to Africa.
Yeah.
But I don't have a passport.
And so I'm encouraging them, get your passport.
I don't care how much I want to go.
Right.
If I don't have that document, I'm not going.
That's right.
And so I don't care how bad we care about our communities or how much we want to see a better tomorrow. If we're not registered to vote, you can't contribute to making tomorrow better for yourself or anyone else.
Absolutely.
And it's important to participate in the process because elections have consequences.
Right.
The Compromise of 1877 saw federal troops withdrawn out of the South, which led us to Jim Crow.
Jim Crow. That's
it took about 100
years.
Lynching. And lynching and everything in between.
Yep.
It took us about 100 years to get voting rights restored.
Right.
And then 20 years after that, the Reagan administration pushed back all of the protections.
That's right.
That right gave us,
Yeah.
which left our communities fatherless, jobless, left
Right.
in ruins. And we're still seeing the sting of that stuff today, right around our communities, and look at the blighted houses
Right.
that exist because of the war on drugs.
Absolutely.
Elections have consequences. So
Right.
number one, you have to register because it's your future at stake.
Yeah.
But you have to vote because you are actually responsible for electing the people
Right.
who will make decisions on behalf of your community.
Absolutely.
We're not even talking about 20 years down the line. We're
Right
talking
now.
right now.
Right now. Absolutely.
We're talking a lot about the national
This
level, but the
election
local
has
level.
right now ramifications.
Right now ramifications.
Not 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 40. Right now.
That's right.
And you will see. And Donald Trump he's going. He said the day the first day in office,
Yep.
I'm going to be a dictator.
Yep. He's going to have to vote again.
Believe it. That's why he's telling people, just vote this time.
Yeah.
You don't have to vote again. Don't worry about voting again. We'll take care of that.
I don't know what he means, but I know he means it.
We know that's
You
it.
know?
That's it.
And even
That's it.
more, even what happens on your local level is important.
That's where I wanted to go. Right.
If you register to vote and you vote in the presidential election, you have to go down ballot as well.
Absolutely.
Because this year, the school board is on the ballot.
Absolutely.
If you have children, you're on the ballot.
Right.
If you have grandchildren, you're on the ballot.
If you love children,
If you love children,
you're on the ballot. Right. Right.
and if you don't fall in between any of those things,
Yeah.
something on that ballot is still there for
Affecting
you and your community.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Voting is the most precious right that we have.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
John Lewis called it a sacred right.
Sacred right.
And
Absolutely.
you protect things that are sacred.
Absolutely. And we remember, and those who've heard me, I'm going to keep on saying it. We got to remember the amount of people who suffered and died
That's right.
trying to get the right
That's
to
right.
vote.
That's right.
And it is an insult to their struggle and their memory for us to not step up and do what we can do, and to allow something as simple as rain
That's right.
or bad weather to keep us from doing
Right.
it. It's an insult. It's a blight on who we are
That's right. That's
for
right.
us to do that. But now there's something else that you mentioned. You are, and you helped me with the term integrity and inclusion. What is you say that again?
Diversity,
Equity, and inclusion.
Yes, sir.
That's right. That is on the line also,
Oh, for
because
sure.
a lot of schools now, college campuses, businesses, and everything. I think John Deere, a number of businesses are eliminating that. Talk about what that's all about.
Well, Project 2025 is also suggesting that if you support DEI in any way,
Mhm.
you won't receive federal assistance, even
Right.
schools.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
these are programs
If
that
you
were in
support
place.
inclusion,
That's right.
if you
support
include,
inclusion.
you will not receive federal funds.
They might as well go ahead and create, white and colored water fountains.
There you
again.
go. Absolutely.
I mean, what's the
Absolutely.
difference here?
Right.
These protections were put in place because we didn't come from families with great trust funds.
Right.
My great grandfather and his grandfather didn't go to Harvard.
There you go.
There's no trust there for me to go.
Right.
So I need these programs
Right.
just to be seen, just
Right.
to even be counted as an actual person.
Absolutely.
And I have the pleasure to be on that committee
Mm.
as a member, because that committee lobbies the federal level
Right.
to make sure that these protections are not withdrawn from our local spaces.
Right. That's
Folks
right.
may say, well, we don't need it. We don't need it. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
You may know
Yeah.
DEI is another term, affirmative action.
That's it.
Affirmative action has since been rolled back.
Absolutely.
So if
Yeah.
you're a young black male from Laney or from Josie or
Mhm,
anywhere in
mhm.
our urban area, and you want to go to college, but you just don't have that
Right.
ability,
Right.
these programs that are in place that would have helped you go
Yeah.
are now being rolled back.
And not just college and school, but also businesses.
Businesses, jobs.
Jobs.
Right.
That's right. Corporations, black businesses or minority businesses that are able to get a seat at the table
That's
because of these programs.
Mhm.
If these programs are rolled back, then
Right.
they're out.
You're left to fend for yourself.
Absolutely.
And that's not who we
And
are.
fending for yourself in front of a people in a country where we have a history of non-inclusion,
That's right.
of discrimination. We can't trust that.
That's right.
I wish everybody had the heart of Jesus, but the fact is they don't.
They don't have it.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
And so we have to look out for our future. As I said, this election is not about the future. This election is about the right now.
Right now.
And
Right
we
now.
will see if Donald Trump is in office. He's going after his enemies.
Right.
And when he goes after, he's going after everybody who doesn't support him. His enemies is everybody
That's right.
who does not support him.
That's right.
We've seen what they're doing, how they're going after our African American women who are in position. Fani
Willis.
Willis.
Yep.
I'm
Right.
sorry. Fani Willis. they're going. I mean, they're the way they're speaking about them and just talking about them, demoralizing them and insulting them. We cannot allow that. There was a time when black men wouldn't have allowed that.
That's right.
Would not have allowed. You don't talk about a sister. We don't. And so we cannot allow this to take place.
They call Kamala Harris stupid.
Absolutely.
They said that she's a dummy.
Yeah, right.
But
right.
his qualifications
Hey,
are
exactly.
preschool compared to
Exactly.
hers.
Exactly.
They've even gone so far, I know in the state of Georgia, to pass a bill that would allow the state to remove prosecutors that refuses to
Right.
do what they say.
Do what they
basically.
say. Right.
That
Exactly.
means if they don't like what our DA does in Augusta,
Right.
regardless of how many times we vote for Jared Williams,
Yeah.
they can remove
They
him.
can remove them.
A black
That's
man
it.
from office.
Absolutely.
I mean, we already saw what happened when other counties pulled out of ours because
Right.
a black man became
Exactly.
an elected official.
Exactly.
These issues are no longer just things that they're talking about in their
Yeah.
private country
No,
clubs.
Donald
They're talking
Trump
about
has
on TV.
made racism public.
Right. And
He's
it's
made it
okay
public.
for them.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this election has again right now ramifications, and the ramifications for the future
Mhm.
are it's scary.
That's right.
It's scary, and it's scary for our young women, and losing their rights and losing their just basic human rights.
Right. Right.
And so we've got to step up. We've got to do that. So what we're saying is you got to register to vote, and then after register, you got to get out and
Gotta
vote.
go
November 5th will be. History's going to be made one way or another.
Right.
You
And
know?
we need to be on the right side of history.
There you go.
I tell people
you
that
go.
I don't want them to wake up on November 6th
Yeah,
the same way that they woke up back in 2016.
absolutely.
We have a very unique opportunity right now to secure everything that we care about.
Right.
Like this is our one opportunity
Yeah,
to choose progress over regression, to
absolutely.
choose faith over fear,
Yeah,
to choose love over hate.
yeah,
I mean, all
Yeah.
of this stuff that we've been dealing with since 2008.
absolutely.
And what is the common denominator between what we dealt with in 8 to what we're dealing with right now?
Mm,
Donald Trump.
absolutely.
This stuff
Absolutely.
didn't happen prior to Donald Trump.
Absolutely.
We could have dinner with people that we didn't agree with.
Right.
Now you can't.
You can't. Right.
So
Right.
the common denominator here, where division and racism and everything in between
Right.
is concerned,
Sexism.
all
yeah.
the isms,
Yeah.
it's this one person.
Right.
And we have the ability to register to vote,
Right.
to turn out to vote, to send him back to his golf course,
Right.
and to really build a
Or
better
jail.
nation. Jail or golf
Or jail.
course, wherever.
Absolutely.
Just keep him out of the White House.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And secure the future.
Absolutely.
I don't want to
Absolutely.
wake up the next morning and wonder what happened
And what's going to happen.
and what's going to happen.
And what's going to happen. We know Kamala Harris. We know she's a woman of integrity. We know we know she can do the job because
Yeah.
she's doing the job.
That's
She's
right.
great vice president, attorney general of California, did a phenomenal job. Don't believe the hype of the negative things that they're saying about her because it's all a lie.
It's all a lie.
It's all a lie. They know how to spin and splice videos and that kind of thing. But look at her record and look at his record.
That's right.
Look at what he's saying and look at listen to what he's saying. Listen to what she's saying. To me, the choice is obvious. But when again, there are people, there are millions of people in this country who believe what Donald Trump is saying because they want that.
That's right.
They want this country to go back. They want their country back.
That's right.
My question is, if we're going to make America great again, when was it ever?
Which period are we going to go back
Exactly.
to? A time when we couldn't vote?
There you go.
A time when women couldn't
What
vote?
are you referring to?
Which the war on drugs? Which
Yeah,
era are we
that's it.
going back to?
Exactly.
But in their mind, it was great.
Yeah.
And and I hate that.
And it
we
was
even-
for them.
It was.
Yeah.
But we were going through back doors to have lunch
There you
and
go.
to have dinner.
That's it.
We were going to sleep without our fathers in the home.
Absolutely.
We were watching our uncles get hauled off
Absolutely.
for small grams of marijuana.
Yeah.
That was reality for us.
Right.
And unfortunately, we're even having to have this conversation to remind people
Mm.
that we may have it okay right now, but it hadn't always been this way.
Yeah. That's it.
I can remember.
Yes, sir.
I can remember.
You're right, man.
So
That's right. It hadn't been that long ago.
It
And
really
you're not
didn't.
that old.
Not at all. And I remember so much so that I don't want to go
Absolutely.
back to it.
That's right.
I
That's
want to
right.
go back to a time when we were just able to sit down and have a conversation.
That's it.
But I also believe in our ability to be that change,
Right.
to be the ones to just cancel all of the noise and move forward with what we know can be.
Let's go. Let's close. I'm gonna let you have the last word, but I want to say this: the old familiar statement: "If not now, when?
That's right.
If not you, who?"
That's right. That's right.
If we don't do it now, when are we gonna do it? Because if we don't do it November 5th, we may not have an opportunity to
That's
do it
right.
again. And if you don't do it, Who's going to do
Who's
it?
going to do it? Who's going to do it?
I want you to have the last word, man. And tell us what you want us to know, brother.
Well, I think we've had a conversation. It's been a great one.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we have to remember that this is about everybody.
Yeah.
This is about our kids.
Right.
This election is about our teachers. This election is about our military servicemen and women.
Our seniors.
Our seniors. It's about our homeless.
Yeah.
It's about the mom who's trying to do everything that she can, but maybe she just need a little of assistance. She just need a little child care.
Right.
She need a little money to get a crib.
Right.
Like this election is about all of us.
Yeah.
And it's so important that none of us can afford to sit it out.
That's it.
We cannot afford to sit back and think that somebody else is going to just pull us in.
That's it.
We have a responsibility and we have a moment to meet.
Absolutely.
And if we don't meet this moment, there's nothing we can say. There's nothing we can do. Because he's already told us, vote this time, you won't have to do it again.
Yeah.
So I think the choice is clear. You have until October 7th to register to vote, to be able to vote on November 5th.
You can register right here at Macedonia.
Sure can.
Yeah, you can do that.
And go vote.
Absolutely.
Go vote. Stay in line, even if it rains.
Absolutely.
Go vote because this election
early
is
voting.
important.
Do early voting. You don't have to wait until November 5th.
That's
do
right.
early voting, but vote.
Just vote.
And not just you. Get someone else.
That's right.
Pick them up. Take them. Let's come on. We're going. Yeah, we registered. Let's go vote.
That's right.
Yeah, we need you. Commissioner Jordan Johnson, Commissioner of District 1. Great man. I supported him in his re-election, and he's doing a phenomenal job as commissioner. We thank God for you, man.
Thank you, sir.
And for the work you're doing right here in Richmond County. And again, this is going across the United States and even across the world. You have to step up. You have to step up and make the change that you want to see. This has been Conversations, where we are educating, emancipating, and empowering so that you can live the life you were born to live. What kind of life is that? It's the kingdom life. God bless you. God keep you. Peace.